Welcome back. Today we're doing a deep dive into a really powerful story, one that screams, never give up. Diana Nyad, swimming from Cuba to Florida at 64.
Absolutely. It captured the world's imagination. Our mission today is to look at the sources around that 2013 Swim the Triumph, yes, but also the intense scrutiny that came afterwards from the marathon swimming world.
And the achievement itself, I mean, it's just staggering. We're talking 110 miles, Havana to Key West. Her fifth try took her about 53 hours straight swimming.
Fifth attempt. Think about that dedication.
Exactly. She explicitly said she wanted to prove it's never too late to chase your dreams. Age is just a number, right?
And the sources really back up the physical challenge. Swimming for days, battling potential hypothermia, dehydration. It's incredibly demanding.
Plus those jellyfish, she had special gear for that, didn't she?
She did. A protective suit, a face mask, even electronic shark shields. The conditions were, well, life-threatening without protection. And achieving that physically at 64, undeniably remarkable endurance.
Okay, so the physical feat seems undeniable. But here's where it gets really interesting and maybe a bit uncomfortable. Despite all the headlines, the swim wasn't actually ratified. Why?
Right, that's the core of the controversy, and no major governing body signed off. And even Guinness World Records pulled their initial certification.
Pulled it. Wow. So what went wrong according to the records?
Well, it boils down to a couple of key things flagged by the marathon swimming community. First, the observer logs were incomplete. There's apparently a critical, 9-hour gap in the written record.
9 hours during the swim.
Yeah, overnight, supposedly during a storm. And for ratification, you need unbroken, detailed observation to prove no rules were broken, like, say, getting into the boat or receiving physical assistance.
And without those logs for that period, it's impossible to verify.
Exactly. It leaves a huge question mark. Then there's the gear issue.
The jellyfish suit and the shark shields.
Yes. Traditional marathon swimming rules. The really strict ones for unassisted swims only allow a standard swimsuit, cap, and goggles. Anything else, like a full bodysuit giving warmth or buoyancy, or a device like the shark shield actively deterring marine life.
That's considered assistance, even if it's for safety.
Under the traditional rules, yes. It changes the dynamic of swimmer versus nature. It's a clash between, pushing boundaries with technology and adhering to the historical spirit of the sport.
And didn't she try to justify it afterwards by citing some organization's rules?
That's another point the sources bring up. She apparently claimed adherence to rules from the Florida Straits Open Water Swimming Association, FSOWSA.
Right.
But investigators and reporters found that, FSO didn't seem to formally exist or have established rules at the time of her swim. It looked to critics like a retroactive justification.
So incomplete logs, controversial gear, and this question about the rules she claimed to follow, that's a lot of pressure on the narrative.
Yeah. It is. And connecting the dots, sources suggest this wasn't entirely out of character. There's a documented history of, let's say, embellishments.
Like what?
Well, claims like being the first woman to swim around Manhattan records show she was actually the seventh. Exaggerations about her standing in the 1968 Olympic trials, too.
So a pattern.
It seems that way, based on the reporting. She even admitted it herself to some extent. Told the Los Angeles Times she was embarrassed to have inflated her record, citing hubris.
Wow. Hubris. That adds another layer. It also seems there were issues with sportsmanship, disparaging rivals.
Yeah, the sources mention instances of that too, publicly putting down another swimmer, Walter Punish, who did a Cuba, Florida swim decades earlier, albeit with fins and a shark cage, and apparently celebrating when another competitor, Chloe McCardle, failed on the same route Nyad later completed. It paints a complex picture of the person behind the swim.
Okay, so wrapping this up, what does this all mean for you listening? You've got this incredible story of human will, pushing limits, embodying never give up at any age. Truly inspiring on one level.
Definitely. The sheer persistence is undeniable. That diamond formed under immense pressure, you could say. She achieved her goal.
It's tested against the very strict, maybe rigid standards of a sport that values absolute, verifiable integrity above almost everything else.
Exactly. So the final thought for you to mull over is this. Nyad absolutely demonstrated extreme persistence. She never gave up. But when chasing that dream seems to involve, according to the sources, bending the rules or maybe not being fully transparent with the facts needed for official recognition, where does the victory truly lie? Is it in the personal achievement, the inspirational story that was told, or does the lack of formal validation diminish it? Something to think about.